friends, your favorite besties are back for another episode of No Ma'am. I'm Will, and I'm joined by my podcast co-host in chaos,
Giovanni. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of No Ma'am.
Friends, today we are joined by an extra special guest, a staple in the New York City drag scene, a competition host, a multiple Glam Award nominee, and Mrs. Hell's Kitchen 25. It is none other than Freeda Kulo. Welcome to No Ma'am.
Hola.
Hi, how are you?
Good, baby. Mugged up, ready for the gig.
Ooh,
You know,
yes.
woman on the go.
Ooh, love that. Okay, Frida. So, I want to start off with an icebreaker. And, being that we are both Mexican, I need us to decide which are the best Mexican foods. So, I'm going to give you two options and you just choose your favorite.
Okay.
It's not going to be
fight?
Maybe. Because it's not going to be no Taco Bell or Chipotle.
Thank God, because both are canceled away.
Right. All right. So first up, you have menudo or pozole.
Okay, I'm going to say pozole.
Yes. I love the taste of menudo. I just can't with the texture of the la panza. I'm a texture.
I just can't when people don't know how to make it right. So it's like, pozole is kind of hard to fuck up. I mean, it's kind of like, you can't fuck up pozole. But menudo, no, you can't. Yeah.
Okay. Tostadas or flautas?
Flautas.
Sopes or quesadillas?
Sopes.
Okay. Tamales or tacos?
Oh, why do you do this to me? It's tamale season right now.
I know.
Okay. Because it's only seasonal, I'm just going to have to just go with tacos because tacos forever.
Okay. And chilaquiles or enchiladas?
Enchiladas.
Okay. And then finally, mezcal or tequila?
Okay. That's kind of hard because Mexican water, aka tequila, is like what I have. That's my choice of drink. But when I'm like want to be bougie and when I'm not in drag, it's mezcal. But because we consume it more, I'm gonna go with tequila.
Got it. Yeah. I mean, I'm with you right there. Like if it's like an everyday thing, tequila. If I want to be bougie and fancy, mezcal all the way.
Yeah.
Giovanni, I'm curious. So
yes,
you heard Frida's answers, but did they match up with yours?
Mostly,
if you had to pick?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay.
The only one I would switch is tamales instead of tacos. But I just tamales is my favorite food in the world. So like that for me is like unbeatable.
I do like tamales, but like not all tamales are created equal.
Oh, that is very true. That is very true.
You can most of the time go to any taco shop and it's a safe bet if you just get bistec. Like if you just get beef, it's a safe bet. But tamales are not always safe anywhere you go.
No, I hate when they give me a tamale and it's like 90% masa and like 10% meat. Like, bitch, where's the filling? Like, I know we're in a recession, but damn.
Correct. The only time I will accept it if it's supposed to be a sweet tamale, like if it's just a sweet corn or strawberry, that's fine.
Yes. Oh my God, I haven't had a strawberry tamale in years.
Ooh, my mom makes them with cream cheese.
Oh, that sounds good. Ooh,
yes.
Sign me up. Okay, Freeda. So now let's get a little bit into you and your drag. So tell us, how did Freeda Kulo start? Where was the inspiration? How long have you been doing drag? What has shaped your drag persona?
So truthfully, I've been aficionado of drag for the longest time. I grew up in the West Coast, and so I grew up watching like people like Mayhem, Detox, Raven, Raja, like the pillars of the drag community in that side of the world. And then I also lived in Puerto Rico for 3 years. So I got to experience what the island culture of like drag was. But I didn't start till 6 years ago, literally right before the pandemic. I kind of stumbled upon it. The first person that kind of really propelled me to want to do drag was Valentina, like seeing her on Drag Race. I'm like, oh, finally a drag queen that has a point of view that I can understand. And I just gravitated to her style. And I started doing drag accidentally at the gym that I worked at Crunch. They forgot to book a drag queen for one of the events. And they're like, oh, you do drag, right? I'm like, mind you, I only did it once before to go to DragCon. And I was like, no, like, I don't, this is an actual career. They're like, we'll pay you $150. I'm like, say less. And that I was like, okay, I literally in 24 hours, I'm like, okay, who is she? And I was like, I have to kind of give a head nod to my identity as being a proud Latina person, but also enough that the white people can understand, like, okay, what's the pun in there? And it also helps that I have a big butt. So Freeda Kulo is how it came to be. Literally on my drive to like the gig, and I was like, oh, that's who I am.
I generally love your name because, like you said, it's obviously an ode to your Mexican heritage and culture, but it's also very punny. Like we love a punny drag name.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, was there any rejected names that we need to know about?
There wasn't necessarily rejected, but I used to say, as a good Mexican person, it was like multiple names. So it was like Maria Frida de las Cruces de las Casas de San Juan de los Lagos. It was like a long name. But I was like, that's too much. People are not going to get that. So we just stuck with Freeda Kulo just to kind of shorten it up.
Oh, the white people were going to be confused.
Girl, they're like, what language is she speaking?
Right.
I mean, aren't they confused now, though? I would,
Yes.
so.
Well, so every now and then, I'll get a like, oh, I love your name, Freeda Kulo. And I'm like, yeah, you ate that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bless their hearts.
I know.
Right? We know. So you said that you got inspiration from Valentina. Obviously, Valentina was on Drag Race. So if you were to compete on Drag Race tomorrow, what would your entrance line be?
Ooh, baby, you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would walk in and I would say, I may be Mexican, but my dreams won't be Trump.
Bitch, you won that. You won
Baby.
that.
You just
Right?
Well, I'm not gonna sign up to lose.
you just want, that's true. I mean, but some girls do. No shade. So.
I'm just here to have fun. Girl,
Yeah,
no,
well-
I'm here for a check.
We'll wake that up later.
Exactly.
But that is an amazing entrance line. And that brings me to my next question. How important is it for you to infuse your culture, your Mexican heritage, your identity into your drag, especially in today's political climate?
Yeah, honestly, it's the essence, it's the blood, it's what gives life to Frida Kulo. She would not be where she is now without the history, without the sacrifices, and paying homage to her culture. And aside from just being able to express that, in the beginning of my drag journey, I felt weird in a sense that I didn't see anyone in New York that really spoke to my experience. And catered too much to the top 40, the white audience. And I'm like, I sometimes just want to give you a little Juan Gabriel on the stage or maybe something funny and campy and reference a novela. And I felt that there was a void. And I said, why not, instead of knocking on doors and looking for opportunities, why don't I just break those doors down and create my own? And I think that's a parallel to like what a marginalized community experiences day in, day out. Sometimes we're not given those chances. We're not able to hold space. So forget it. Just create those spaces for yourself.
Exactly.
Love that.
And have you ever received any backlash or experienced any kind of hate or discrimination for what you've presented?
Sometimes it may be your own people, y'all.
Oh.
I one time at a gig, someone didn't understand my point of view and the campiness of it all, and how I'm able to really represent hand in hand what it is beauty, but also to be able to be funny and just laugh at life. I'm inspired by a lot of like the women in my family because they're all gorgeous women from Jalisco, and some of them are even pageant queens. But they are hilarious and they have so much wit. And so I just take that and it's to the 10th degree. And so at one point, I remember after a gig, someone went up to me. They're like, yeah, what you do is offensive to my culture. And I'm like, baby, no soy monita de oro para caerle bien a todos, which means like I'm not a gold coin so that, it fits in every pocket. And, drag, it's what you want it to be, how you want to consume it, how you want to take it and palletize it. And so I was like, it's fine. That's your point of view. And I don't mind pushing the boundaries sometimes. I've also done a number about Luigi Mangione, and it wasn't to glorify gun violence. It was more so it's a conversation on media and pop culture, and drag has always politicized pop culture and brought it to the forefront and to make it a conversation. And so I do it unapologetically. I will never say I went too far because I don't think so. I think it's good to have these conversations, and sometimes it's just to laugh at life, y'all. There's a lot more serious things happening in the world. And so let's just live a little.
Yeah. I mean, so speaking about that, you competed in obviously Mrs. Hell's Kitchen, right? And you won. So shout out to the winner. We're speaking to the winner. We speak to winners here on No Ma'am. But besides that, like, why was that so important to you? And what does it mean to be Mrs. Hell's Kitchen?
I had already done a few competitions in the past and won, and each one challenges me as an artist and also just as someone in the community. My first one was Lady Liberty, Your Forever Lady Liberty, because we haven't had it since then, and then Miss America, and then Miss Paradise. But I wanted a crown that had a purpose, and to me, this crown represents a cause. If you don't know already, this pageant itself is a fundraiser to raise funds for the Cycle for the Cure and also the Center, HIV and AIDS awareness predominantly. And that's what we do throughout the whole year in the rain. And the reason I wanted to is I've have friends, I've you know, in the past had like lovers that live with HIV and still have a fulfilling life. And there's a lot of stigma around having conversations around getting tested and what options we have available. And so I wanted to be someone that could platform that.
Love that. And speaking about stigma, right? I just think it's important to bring awareness to that. I think this is a conversation that still needs to be had. I think there is a lot of ignorance that happens, especially in our community. We've come a long way, but we still have a ways to go. And I think it is still sort of like a taboo conversation. And what I think is another taboo conversation is race, right? Talking about it, being uncomfortable. I think we have to start getting comfortable with being uncomfortable because that's the only way that we change. And there is an Instagram post, there is a photo that we use, obviously, as the promo for your episode here, that it was all about like, fuck ICE.
Yeah.
And so, like, why did you think, right, like doing that was so important? And did you get any backlash from that?
I didn't get any backlash, but even if I did, I was ready for it. I have the privilege of having papers, and it's because my parents made the sacrifice years ago to go through an experience to offer something for our family. And I'm forever grateful. I will never get tired of saying that. And I have friends, I have family members that day in day out, it's a reality of having to be afraid to step out the door or to even answer the door. And so I feel like it's my duly responsibility to be able to voice this and represent them when they feel like they don't have a voice. And with drag, I'm so unapologetic about representing the brand and representing my culture that I'm like, you know what? When they can't speak, I will be the voice.
And speaking of being the voice, do you have a message for any of those Latinos for Trump or anybody who voted against their own self-interest? Anything you want to say to them?
Trying to be without getting the emotions get the best of me, because that's one thing. I know I'm an advocate, but sometimes I get so passionate and so upset and so mad that I resort to language that I know could be harmful. And sometimes I just gotta put the phone down and maybe not hit send on the comment or the message. But what I do really want to hone in on it is you gotta remember that none of us are granted these opportunities out of nothing. There's a history behind everything that has happened. There has been a fight, there has been a movement. And so to not recognize those people that are still trying to fight for that equality is you're acting in privilege, and you're not doing the future any justice. You're not making this American dream a reality, and you're not helping. It's very self-serving, and the only thing that's going to end up happening is that you're not going to find a community. You're going to be left behind, and we're not here for it.
Yeah. And I think the same can be said for like the blacks for Trump, right? This is a conversation that I had with my grandma and my father the other day. And I think it's that proximity to whiteness and the feeling of being oppressed. And then you have somebody who's going to sell you a dream. It's kind of like he's a snake oil salesman. He's going to say, oh, here's all the things I'm going to do for you. Here, I'm going to take you out of this, but not really realizing that he's only saying that because technically he feels like he can dangle the carrot in front of you. And I think that's what happened with the Latinos for Trump as well. It's like a lot of them felt as if, hey, like I'm being oppressed, right? So like I don't have this, so I want to be as close to like whiteness as possible. So he said he's coming after the criminals. We're not criminals. We work, right? We do what we need to do. So he's coming after the criminals. It's not us. And I think the same can be said to any marginalized group who voted for him and voted against their own self-interest.
But above all that, yes, there's people that vote for the opposition. I think what we really need to like talk about is like the people that just didn't vote. Like, yes, we align with the same views, but why not go out there and vote? Like, really, just you think you're underestimating what kind of impact you can have. Maybe we're desensitized because we'd rather be sitting down, going through a black hole on TikTok and just, brain rotting. And I get it. It's sometimes easier to check out. But the fact of the matter is that this is our reality. And if we don't do something about it, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah. So what impact do you hope that your drag has on the younger queer generation?
One thing I did recently, I did a gig at a BMCC. And they decided to have their Pride in a different month that doesn't necessarily fall during Pride Month. And we decided to have conversations of what joy is to you. And there was so much positive and some positive experiences, so many affirmations that were being expressed that I'm like, this is what we need more of. And I was almost in tears just like hearing people share their expression of what joy meant to them. and what queer joy meant to them. And afterwards, I got so much love and just people wanting to like have conversation of what my experiences has been. But one thing that resonated with me is someone that's, oh my God, I'm getting like a little choked up just thinking about it. They're like, hey, I can't wear anything that expresses how I feel because the one time I did, I got shot and I live in the projects. And so they're like, I want to try drag, but I'm just afraid that I just won't be safe. And at that moment, I was like, wow, I'm so privileged to be able to be a cross-dresser and pay rent, right? And so, and just to also just have these moments where I can connect with like the younger generation and how can I hold their hand and guide them? And I said, find solace in activities like this. Find your people, find your tribe. And even though you may not feel like you can walk out that door at this moment, trust and believe this will not be your daily life for an eternity. Like there is a brighter future. There are going to be moments where you will be able to just wear whatever you please without paying mind to anyone else. And I said, I know right now you may want to do it, but I want you to be safe first and foremost. And maybe you'll just have to hide it in your backpack. And then when you get to school, you're able to like put on that glitter and just be fabulous. I'm like, but first and foremost, be safe. But know that there's spaces and there are venues that are safe for you, that we're going to embrace you with open arms. But it really brought home to me that I am making a difference and I am fostering a better future for our young queer kids.
Yeah. And obviously hearing all of that, it can be a lot on somebody's mental health, and kind of hearing that constantly can definitely take a toll on someone. So how do you keep your inner peace in check? How do you uh, have peace of mind when you're out of
Yeah.
drag?
No, I have to have a balance. I'm like, Freeda is my roommate. Let's be real. Like she takes up a lot of space in this apartment. But I make it clear that like she has her own moments. Like she has her days of the week, but I also have my own life other than Freeda. And I gotta prioritize that. Like I make sure that I'm not filling just Freeda's cup. I'm also filling into, and I'll put out my government name is, well, allegedly government name is Louis or Luis. And so, yeah, to things that fulfill me and not always make it about Freeda.
Love that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's funny because all the queens that we've interviewed so far on the pod, they've said the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets hard because the persona that you're out in the bars and you're hosting competitions, you may be doing drag brunch. That's what the fans see, and so
Yeah.
they always think that you are that persona every single time. And sometimes you're like, listen, I don't got the wig on today. I just want to be me.
Right.
Like that's it. But they expect you to be Frida 100% every single day, every time you see them, and it's like I just want to be me. I don't got no wig on today, y'all. Like leave me
Yeah.
alone.
I mean, there's definitely facets and characteristics that we both share, but this is the best way for me to explain it. Frida is with the volume all the way turned up. I'm just with the volume like kind of low, and she's just like background music when I'm not in drag and like way more chill. We're still gonna be that funny little quirky, like witty person, but it's definitely just having that balance of like, all right, she's on right now, but then she's off right now, like not that girl.
Mhm.
And I try to be mindful of that by like taking care of myself, going to get a massage, getting like a mani pedi, and like just not wearing nails this whole week. And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna take care of my skin, whatever.
I love that. So what I love is that you have become a staple in the New York City drag scene, and you have said that you've been doing this since like the pandemic, right? So about like six years now. So what do you love most about the local drag scene here in New York City?
I think New York is truly the mecca of drag. Like I've been able to do drag elsewhere other outside of New York and New Jersey. I performed in Colombia, I performed in California, in Toronto, in Hawaii. But there's something about New York that if you don't understand who you are as an entertainer, then you won't find longevity. If you think that me referencing whatever is trending on Drag Race for the moment is gonna get you your 3+ years at the same gig, baby, you got something else coming for you. Like you gotta be able to first and foremost identify who you are as an entertainer, and then be able to adjust with the times. And New York City is kind of like the fast track of that. Like I haven't found anything similar to this environment anywhere else. And there are more drag queens than there are Dunkin' Donuts at every corner. Like let's be real. And it's so competitive. So like if you don't set yourself apart, baby, it's a chop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of shop, can you talk to us a little bit about Slay? How did that come about? What is it? There's a lot of drag queens that are competing on it. So tell the fans, tell the friends, what is Slay?
Yeah, so Slay is actually a competition that I host at the Ritz in New York in Hell's Kitchen every Saturday. We are now in our second cycle, and It's a competition that's open to all expressions of drag. It's from 9 to 11. And each week we have one person that comes out victorious, winning $200. The way to do it is just do your best drag number. The top two, determined by the audience, get to ballot out in a lip sync battle. And out of that battle, I choose the winner. But whoever wins also continues on to a semifinale where all the weekly winners ballot out for a chance to move on to the finale to win $1,000. They also get a bona fide package. This cycle, we're going to get a custom garment from Nicolas Mendoza, Glamour Award nominated. They also get a facial with Face Allies. They also get, I'm trying to remember everything, a photo shoot with Jonas, which was one of the photographers that I like to work with, a booking at Queen with me at Drag Brunch, which is also Glam nominated. But the reason I started this is when I started drag, I was still working my 9 to 5, and it was hard for me to enter a competition when my schedule wouldn't allow it. And a lot of them were always weekday. I was like, what about on the weekends? What about when, when it's our day off, and instead of partying, let's go ahead and twirl. And that's the reason I wanted to create that platform specifically on that day.
Love that.
Yeah. And I know you said twirling on your day off, but what is your favorite Mexican song or Spanish song, or what's your go-to song? And what's a song you would never touch by an icon?
Okay. It's hard for me to say one favorite song because that's my bread and butter. I love lip syncing in Spanish. I think if anything, I love by Juan Gabriel, Ya lo sé que tú te vas.
That's a good one.
There's so much emotion. I tried to explain that there's a genre in Mexican music called desamor, which is about love, but it's also the sad, depressing side of love. And we as Mexican people come together and we kind of celebrate that. No shade. We relish in being dramatic. No shade. We love it. And
just a little bit.
Right. You think a novela's on TV, baby, it's real life, okay? And a song that I wouldn't touch. Oh my God, what is a song that I wouldn't touch in Spanish? What would I not touch? Not that I won't touch it, because I have touched it. I fondled it. It's just probably the hardest songs in Spanish is Arrasando by Thalia.
Bitch,
I can successfully get through it with the first verse, the chorus easy. And even the third verse, but it's the second one that always gets me.
I listen to that song, not even kidding you, at least once a day. I still don't know the words to that song. I don't think it helps that my Spanish sucks, but I only know every other word in that song, so I would definitely screw that up.
Just fill it in with sana 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 sana.
I mean, listen, if you're doing it in front of these white people, they don't know. They don't know what to say.
Yeah, correct.
They think you got it.
Exactly.
I love that. Well, now I think it's time for my favorite section of the whole entire episode, and it's the rapid fire game that we're calling Not Too Much. So there are 3 categories each, and each of those categories have 3 questions. So it's 9 questions altogether. And now you're going to answer all 9 questions, but you get to choose which category you want to go in what order. So the 3 categories are You Ate That, She's That Girl, and Girl What. So which category would you like to go first?
I like to think that I'm a proud big back, so let's go with She Ate That.
Okay. So if you opened a restaurant, what would it be called, and what would be on the menu?
So it would be a bar and restaurant. And it would be called Casa Kulo.
Oh, I love that.
And obviously it's going to be Mexican, but it's going to be modern Mexican. So we're going to have small bites, definitely incorporate a lot of indigenous customs, traditional type of ingredients, and just kind of open people's minds to what Mexican food is. And then we're going to have a plethora of signature cocktail. I really want to change people's perception of what they think a margarita is, and how they consume Mexican food. I have the honor of growing up with a chef. My dad's a chef, and he taught us a lot. So I just want to really celebrate all the gastronomy that Mexican culture has to offer.
Love that. I mean, fun fact, Giovanni loves to cook, so he's the foodie of the group.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and I love the idea of kind of I don't want to say elevating, because it feels like Mexican food isn't elevated enough already, because it definitely is. But I like the idea of taking traditional ingredients or traditional dishes and adding a twist to them to kind of get new people to buy into it and get people interested in it, because I think that's what creates really great conversations and gets really people interested in discovering more.
Yeah.
Same. Okay. The second question is, what's the best brunch order?
Ooh, Mexican water. Okay, tequila.
Go.
No, I am a sucker. Anywhere I go, I want to see what is your Benedict given, because that holiday sauce better be good. If you have me at a good eggs Benedict with a good holiday sauce, I'm like, okay, we're safe, y'all. We're safe.
Love that. I mean, that is a really complicated dish, though.
I was about to say,
What?
I think even more important than that, it's the poached egg because they be fucking that up.
True. But if sometimes the sauce, though, like if it's not giving, it's like, oof.
No, I can go really bad.
That's true. All right. And the last question, and you ate that, is what's something in the kitchen that you hate cleaning?
Everything. I hate cleaning so much because it's triggering me. When my parents taught us how to cook, the first thing is like, no, you gotta clean first. Like we would not be able to do the fun stuff yet. You had to always clean. My sister, one of my sisters, she hates cleaning tripas. The tripas are intestines, and so we were taught how to do this like as a kid. And so anything with cleaning, I hate it.
Love that. Okay. So next, you have She's That Girl and you have Girl What? Which categories are you choosing first?
Let's do She's That Girl.
Okay. So what's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done to get someone's attention?
Most embarrassing thing? Oh my God. In drag?
Listen, it could be in drag, out of drag. You just needed to get his attention. What you do?
Maybe you put on the drag.
Baby, if I'm in drag, I'm getting attention, period.
Ooh.
But if it's out of drag, listen, the thing is, I'm not that, no, I'm comfortable with who I am.
Heard you.
So I'm going to manifest that you're going to come to me. So I don't do anything embarrassing. It's fine.
Love that. Okay. What's the first app you open when you wake up?
Instagram.
Yeah.
I know.
Same. I know it's bad. It's really bad. Yeah. Okay. And then lastly is what plan do you usually agree to knowing damn well you ain't going?
Fuck. Usually, like, if I'm going to do anything after brunch, because most of the time after I'm done working brunch, I'm like, I just want to sit down, untuck, and not do anything. So, like, it's hard for me to be like, yeah, we're doing something.
Right. And then, so Girl What, obviously by default, is the last. So the first question is, which U.S. city would you never live in?
Miami. I was there for work for 3 months.
Okay.
It was not giving for me. South Beach is another story, but like Miami-Dade area, no ma'am.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Miami is, yeah. They say Miami is like a southern version of like New York City, but it's not. It's not.
A southern version, like South, maybe,
Yeah,
is Mexico City. Mexico City, because it's like more like parallel, I think.
Okay. And then the second question is, how do you define true success?
Happiness.
Love that. And the last question is, would you rather time travel to the past or time travel to the future?
Time travel to the past.
And why is that?
Yeah. I just realized that nostalgia in itself, it has to do with like the human experience, liking, feeling pain from something that's gone. And that they relish in that pain of like not being able to experience that again. And that's why you always see time and time again that something nostalgic comes back and it's like we really relish in it. And I'm Mexican. I like being dramatic. So like, let's go back in time and like relive the trauma. Why not?
Listen, hello. Trauma bonding is always good. All right. So we have one last question for you. And Jawani is going to ask you the question that trips up all of the girls who have been on an episode so far, except for one. Ambrosia did a really great job. But let's see. Jawani, take it away.
I actually have another one to add on. You said, you mentioned Mexico City. So if you had to choose between being on RuPaul's Drag Race or Drag Race Mexico, which would you choose?
Don't do this to me, little girl. Don't do this to me. Because this has been asked to me before at like amongst like friends and like people that I know from the franchises and everything. Listen, I'm never gonna say no to an opportunity. But if I have the option, I'm gonna go with the mainland Drag Race simply because I want there's no other Freeda Kulo. If you look across, there's no other Freeda Kulo. And if I go to Drag Race Mexico, like I'm going up against people that are going to get my point of view. We're coming from the same place. And so I just want to make sure that I have a competitive advantage over other people. And so out there, it's going to be like, but you're my prima. Like, what the heck?
True. I mean, if you put it that way, that makes...
Yeah.
And plus the coins a little bit more. I'm going to lie. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. But the other question is, how would you describe your drag persona as if it were a Grindr bio?
Class, sass, and a whole lot of ass.
I love that.
That's also really good too.
Yeah.
That's good. Yes.
Yeah.
We've had some really good ones. Ambrosia did a really good one. I think she said she's like dumb and like full of cum. Something crazy, but very on brand for Ambrosia, which makes sense. And then Janae's was really on brand for Janae. Not so much grinder, but it was on brand for like Janae and her like, dream girl fantasy. Love her for that. And then Jade and Lolita, it was Jade and Lolita. You really can't, those two. I mean, they're just there. They're out there. We love them for where they are. But
Ooh.
Freeda, let the friends know where they can find you, what's your socials, anything that you would like to plug.
Absolutely. All my social media platforms, Freeda Kulo, FreedaKulo. Okay, I'm still gonna say it. The cat's out of the bag. I'm gonna be joining the cast of Reinas starting December 19th. So you can catch me. I was like the girl that normally covers, but I'm gonna start being the permanent one soon. So I'm excited because I love my girls.
Yes.
So starting December 19th, I will be a regular at Reinas at Hush, and then you can find me Sundays at the Glam nominated drag brunch at Queen Astoria. Saturday nights you'll find me at Slay at the Ritz, and then just look me up on my socials because I'm everywhere. I'm always like dipping it and doing it. There's a few things coming up. Monday, December 1st is World AIDS and HIV Awareness Day. So I'm hosting a special event with candy samples at Fresco's Grand Cantina. And then I have another event where we are getting a toys and food drive in Long Island on the December 4th. December 5th, Asbury, I'll be doing Toys for Tots. It is the annual fundraiser that we do with the first ever Miss Paradise, Lady Marissa. So I'll be there as well. And just honestly, just check out my Instagram because I post everything on there. And that way you can keep up with Kulo.
Love that. And
Keep up with
we
Kulo.
love
Oh my god,
keeping
that
up with the
should be the
Kulo.
new Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Oh my god.
Keeping up, baby. Listen, I am ready. The way I have a whole plan. I already have someone that wants to be my manager. New merch coming 2026. You're not ready for it. Listen.
Ladies
There's
and
plenty
gentlemen,
of
season
Kulo.
9.
There's plenty of Kulo to go around. Trust and believe.
Love
Oh,
that.
and if you haven't already, your girl is also nominated for Entertainer of the Year at the Glam Awards, which I'm so
She is.
gagged at. I'm so gagged at because, so I didn't really campaign for it. Like I was just like, I'm happy to be here.
Mhm.
So to kind of get that validation from your peers, it's crazy to me. When I heard the news, can I tell you, I was listening to Race Chaser, and Alaska just finished announcing that tickets are available because she's hosting.
Yeah.
And my phone's blowing up. I'm like, what is going on? I'm driving to Asbury.
Yeah.
And then Vampy was like, bitch, congratulations on your nomination. I'm like, what is she talking about? I screamed. I had to pull over because I almost crashed. I'm like, this is crazy. I was like, what is life?
Yeah. We actually nominated you for Entertainer of the Year too, so
Oh,
just
thank
FYI.
you.
Yeah. So
Thank you,
we thought you did
guys.
amazing. Yeah, I mean it was, to us, it was like, one, representation. We're all about representation. It's always going to be for us, by us. So anytime that we can push one of us to the forefront, we will. But also, you've done so much, and I think it will be a good testament to see you win. So,
Oh, thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
but you have stiff competition because the Entertainer of Years is there's some competition in that
Some
category.
icons. Like, I was like, I'm totally gagged. Like, this is a great group of people to be around.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. So, but friends, there you have it. That has been Freeda Kulo and all of her Kulo-ness. Obviously, we love following the Kulo. Especially the tops out there. So just FYI. But friends,
No, not right now though. Not right now.
friends, if you think you've got what it takes to join us, fill out our guest interest form. I'll put the link below this episode when it drops. We're always looking for new voices, new friends, and new besties to join us here on No Ma'am, the podcast. And as always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a single episode of No Ma'am. And until next time, y'all.